A 30-year-old married woman presented with a complaint of jaundice since 10 days without any prodromal symptoms, no fever, nausea, vomiting, or right hypochondrial pain prior to the onset of jaundice, and a history of altered sensorium which started 3 days prior to admission, which gradually progressed, and patient became unresponsive to any commands when the patient came to our hospital. There was no history of fever, pain in abdomen, nausea, vomiting, no history of mucosal bleeding, petechial spots, ecchymosis, no history of jaundice, ascites, altered sensorium, or GI bleed, which was ruling out any underlying to rule out underlying chronic liver disease, and a history of fracture. She had a history of fracture forearm at 15 years of age, for which she had underwent some surgery. No history of blood transfusion, tattooing, dental treatment, or sexual promiscuity. No history of any addiction. No history of any chronic drug ingestion. She had last menstruation 15 days back. She had 2 children, and she was born of third degree consanguinity. On examination, she had altered sensorium, not responding to verbal commands. Temperature was normal, heart rate 62 per minute, respiratory rate 16, regular respiration with icterus, mild pallor, and no other positive physical findings. On abdominal examination, liver was 2 cm palpable with firm with sharp edge and smooth surface. Spleen not palpable, no flank dullness, no lump, and no dilated veins. On CNS examination, she had altered sensorium, Glasgow's Coma Scale 8/15, no focal neurological deficit, DTRs were brisk, plantars equivocal, and pupils were semi-dilated and reacting to light. So, with this, a history of jaundice followed by rapid onset of encephalopathy within 10 days of onset of jaundice, we had a clinical diagnosis of acute liver failure in our mind. And for etiologies, we had thought of viral hepatitis, which includes hepatitis E, which is the most common cause of ALF in our country, followed by hepatitis B, hepatitis A, and non-A, viral hepatitis, which comes last, and Wilson disease and autoimmune hepatitis. So, for keeping these differentials in mind, we investigated the patient. Her hemoglobin was 11.2 gram per dl, total count 16,000, platelet count 1.6 lakh, electrolytes were normal, serum creatinine 1.6, BUN 30, and ammonia was high 205 with upper limit of normal 75. In liver function test, we had a liver function test which was done outside on day 5th of illness, which showed a bilirubin of 13, direct bilirubin of 8, AST 868, ALT 375, alkaline phosphatase 10, total protein 7.4, albumin 2.8, and INR of 4.2, which again suggested a presence of acute liver failure, GGT 27. On day 10, when she came to us, we had repeated the liver function test, and we showed almost same bilirubin 14.8 with AST and ALT 900 and 452, alkaline phosphatase of 16, total protein 7.3, and albumin of 2.6. INR remained the same 4.5 after administration of vitamin K, and GGT was 25. We had done some etiological workup, which we had done viral markers, HbA1c came negative, IgM anti-HBC antibody was done to rule out acute hepatitis B, which was negative, IgM HEV and IgM HAV were negative, and anti-HCV was also negative. Serum ANA was done, which was negative. She had financial constraints, so we could not do serum ASMA and NTL-CAM. Serum ceruloplasmin was done, which was 8 mg per dl with a normal value of 20 to 50 mg per dl, and a 24-hour urinary copper of 110 microgram in 24 hours. KF ring examination was done by ophthalmologist in ICU. Slit lamp examination could not be done, but KF ring on ophthalmological examination was negative. On investigations, her ultrasound showed mild hepatomegaly with altered ecotexture, mild splenomegaly, mild ascites. A Doppler showed hepatic vein patents, IVC patent, portal vein 10 mm in size, and there are no collaterals within the abdomen. She was treated as acute liver failure. She was given N-acetylcysteine, and the provisional diagnosis of Wilson disease was made. She was planned for, she required transplant, and she was counseled regarding the transplantation, but she was coming from a very poor family. Patient deteriorated neurologically over the next few days, required transplant, but expired just 5 days back.